Welcome everybody to episode 15 of Katawa Shoujo. We're still going. This one I think is going to be titled Act 3 because we pretty much just started Act 3. We waved off Lily at the airport and we walked home with Hanako, and Hideaki didn't want anything to do with us, she just walked away. But yeah, not a lot else has happened, so I guess let's get straight back into it. So load and day by day. Okay. Yeah, we're in Mutu's. Yeah, rest my chin on my hand as I absentmindedly look out the window. Yet another of Mutu's lectures droning on and on as if it were endless. The summer sky is almost alluring in its bright cerulean splendor. Only the old passing cloud breaks up the deep blue expanse. This feeling of longing is probably the outdoor side of me yearning to escape. Nakai, could you answer this? That side of me is lost to the past now, though. In that case, I think it would use the ane suffix. Ane? Correct. Moving on. The suffix for. As my attention towards Mutu slips once again, I spot Misha giving me an enthusiastic thumbs up and nod at her to settle her down. It's been a handful of days since Lily left for Scotland. Days which have passed relatively peacefully. Life largely continued as usual, in contrast to what I'd expected. While thoughts of her have danced around on the edge of my mind since she left, present events managed to subdue them, at least for the time being. So I find myself idly chatting with Hanako as usual, when lunchtime finally rolls by. Are the later ones in the series good as well? Not really. You're probably best off just sticking to the original. His later books didn't live up to it, other than maybe God Emperor. Thanks. I wasn't really sure if... Oh God. As Hanako steps to the side, I see Shizune stride up to her typically business-like manner, flanked by her ever-present bright-haired shadow. Try as I might, I can't read any hint of their intent from their faces. Shizune's poker face and Misha's seemingly boundless cheerfulness are a devilish combination. Morning, Shizune. Misha. Hi. I accentuate the greeting with a nod to Shizune in order to get the point across, so she doesn't hit you again. She promptly and curtly returns the gesture to both of us. It's been a long while since I've really talked to either of them. For a while I thought they might be avoiding me, but I eventually came to the conclusion that Shizune really isn't the type to do so. She's smiling. This makes me nervous. Morning, Chi-chan. Chi-chan says that Mutu wants to see you sometime. Well, why doesn't Mutu tell me? Because of this statement, my face contorts as if I'd just eaten spoiled food, giving Misha no end of amusement. Anyone think you were in trouble, Hi-chan? Ugh. You may not be aware of it, but you have the least to worry about out of anyone in the class. Oh, really? I have the least to worry about. I'm the only one who has a physical heart condition that could kill me at any moment. But I'm the one that least to worry about, you know. What an unexpected vote of confidence. Even Hanako nods hesitantly to affirm the point. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. There was something I want to ask you, though. And what might that be, Hi-chan? I have a feeling this won't go over well, but here goes. Is there any reason why you and Lily don't get along? It seems like even a little civility would help you both in your duties. Oh, for fuck's sake, Shizune. Shizune's cold stare after Misha happily signs the words stops me in my tracks. In hindsight, I really could have worded that better. Hanako just... Out of the corner of my eye, I'm sure I see Hanako move back just a little. Thankfully, Shizune notices this and lets her temper dissipate as she forcefully runs her hand through her hair to let off steam. Perfectly on cue, Misha begins interpreting the second Shizune's arms begin to move. I would say that such matters aren't relevant to you, but since you seem to have befriended Lily... She pauses to adjust her glasses, evidently attempting to articulate her point in the best manner possible. While I assume the same of her, I cannot call my own views on the matter unbiased. Suffice to say, we were closer than we are now. Okay, that didn't really explain a lot. Shizune makes a quick gesture to Misha to stop her from interpreting, then has a quick meeting with her before proceeding. The fact that the two can communicate so easily yet so secretly in front of us is slightly disconcerting. Hanako seems to share my curiosity at the proceedings, looking on with thinly masked interest. As they finish their opaque conversation, Misha looked slightly deflated. I guess her opinion on the matter wasn't followed. Shi-chan says you should ask Lily about it, as she doesn't want to be the one that gets you involved. Oh, you don't mind getting me involved in everything else, including whapping me around the head, you bitch. Oh well, I'll just have to ask her after she gets back. At least I got some information out of Shizune. The two having been on close terms means that they weren't always at each other's throats, or at least not quite to this extent. I understand. Thanks anyway. Goodbye. With a nod and a farewell, the two break away and walk out the door, no doubt headed straight for the student council room. Could have gone worse, I suppose. Hanako lets out a long breath, relieved at the confrontation's resolution. I can't say I blame her. I'll see you later then. Yeah, I'll meet you in the tea room. See ya. With that, she waves and joins the trickle of students leaving the classroom. Nakai, could I speak with you for a moment? Delivered in his typical monotone manner, he apparently decided that I need a reminder to see him already. Eventually, I finish packing up my things. By the time I reach his desk, the classroom is close to empty. Yes, sir? He looks up, taking measure of my face, before giving an awkward, rather obviously acted chuckle. No need to feel guilty. You're not in any trouble. I just want to ask you something I've asked a few of the other students so far. That's something, at least. For a moment, I thought my maximum of keeping my head down and pen up had failed me. So, what did you want to talk about? To start with, what do you think of your progress in this class so far? Good? Bad? I detest that kind of question. For a fair amount of time, I tried to think of a response that is neither pathetically humble nor cocky. I'd say I'm doing okay. The work doesn't seem too hard, and I'm doing better on the test than I thought I would. That's a good answer. A correct one, too. I give a mental sigh of relief at his satisfaction. To say that I don't gain a little pride from his comment would be a blatant lie. In the maelstrom of thoughts colluding my mind after learning that I'd be transferring to Yamaku, my school grade seemed utterly unimportant. By the way, you might be able to hear the crickets in the background, because I fed the girls crickets, the girls meaning my leopard geckos, I fed them crickets yesterday, so they are currently hopping around, waiting to be eaten. Being entirely clueless as to what skill level would be assumed of me, once I actually got here, I was hugely relieved when I found out that I understood well enough the schoolwork we'd be doing. Oh, that was a long sentence. I know your circumstances might have thrown a wrench in the works, but have you given any thought to your future? My future? What you'd like to do as a profession? Do you have any thoughts of where you'd like to be in 10 or 20 years' time? I wouldn't be surprised if you covered this ground in your previous school, but I don't have any record of it if you have. I suppose the last year of high school was the time when students would need to be thinking about such things. To be honest, I really haven't lent it much thought compared to my immediate situation. Catching on to my thinking, Mutu speaks up. It's okay if you haven't decided on anything specific yet. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of your classmates are still undecided. After all, maybe pursue one of your talents? He's rather obviously trying to squeeze an answer out of me, and something about his previous wording makes me suspicious. He didn't seem to be intent on asking everybody like this, so he must have some kind of selection criteria. At a guess, our grades in his class. Well, something in science might be the path of least resistance. His face brightens, no doubt pleased at the thought of a prize student following his subject as a career path. I didn't know he was the science teacher. Good. Having a general idea is the first step. I advise you to think on it, though. I will. Things are kind of settling down, which will help. Good to hear. Oh, I've noticed that Akizawa's attendance and grades have improved since you came to be friends. I'd like to thank you for that. I'm surprised you noticed we knew each other. He gives a chuckle as awkward as his smile. This guy really has no idea how to properly act around others. Every facial movement seems like an act of careful but misdirected choreography. Why is the teacher awkward? Like, everybody else is awkward. Why is the teacher awkward as well? You could say that having a general idea of who knows whom is part of a teacher's job. Catching himself before he goes off on a tangent, he loudly coughs into his hand. I'm sure you have things to do, though, so I'll stop here. Please do think about where you're headed from here, as you don't have long to go before you finish high school. I will, thanks. The brief talk ended. I take my leave. He goes back to fussing with the teacher materials on his desk. This is one of the times I'm envious of Lily. Almost maddeningly. I can't say that word. I can't say it. Maddeningly so. Maddeningly. Oh my god, I can't say it. So, to have one's future so clear and so assured, yet working towards it from such a young age. Maddeningly. Hey, editor. Okay, so to have is the music still on? To have one's future so clear and so assured, yet working towards it from such a young age. There is no music on. It's an idea so utterly oh my god. Irreconcilable. I never use these words. In English language, these words are not used. It's like you just say utterly unthinkable with my own thoughts. It's like that's all you need to say. Mind in the present day, just as they've always been. God damn it! What a crazy couple of sentences right there. All right, so we got a new day. Walking through the lobby to the cafeteria, I silently rue my daily routine having been completely thrown off. It seemed like a normal day. I arrived in class before... Oh, that shadowing, though. Foreshadowing right there. I arrived in class before most due to walking early and having become quite adept at chucking down my pills without choking as I get ready for the day. But as students trickled in, one never materialized. Hanako. I step inside, my eyes scanning the expanse of the cafeteria in search of a suitable place to take a seat. It's a task made more difficult by the groups of students moving about and busily talking. Oh. A hand pounds my back hard a couple of times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in a near-automatic reaction. Who the fuck? If this is Emmy again, I swear to God, she's been told. My hand instinctively tightens on my breast. I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe steadily in and out. With a measure of relief, I can slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look back up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. For fuck's sake, Kenji. Hey, man, are you okay? God damn it, don't do that, you idiot! He retreats back, an expression of unease written on his face. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have barked at him, considering he had no way to know. I don't know, man. Oh, sorry, I skipped over that. I give a sigh and right myself with some difficulty. Sorry, I just have some chest problems. Sharp knocks are not good. It seems strange to see him so upset. The fact that I can't do anything about it irritates me. Let's get lunch. Okay, it's good to have some company for once. We start off to the serving line. One good thing is that Kenji and I can make small talk nowadays, as opposed to my only interaction with him being anti-feminist lectures. Seems like it'd be hard to find an empty table. There's a few people I wouldn't mind sitting with. Nobody's like you, though. I feel a shiver run down my spine. Clarify that now. They don't listen. Their minds are closed. It's the media, man. The goddamn brainwashing mainstream feminist fascist media. Oh god, here he goes. He takes a breath and I say with a second of silence. Damn, they control everything but you and me. I relax a little while we grab our food and drink. So, what have you got for me? Huh? Come on, you've been hanging around with Satu and that other chick for ages now. Rumors all over my class and probably some of the others too. Eavesdropping isn't a good habit. Let me guess, you never do? Not even when you're bored? Really? Well, fine, point taken. Both of us stopped to have soup ladled into a couple of small bowls and placed onto our trays. The concoction that lands into the bowl looks pretty questionable, but at least it smells reasonably good. As we take our seats at a miraculously free table, I tried to think of something that would actually interest him at all. I hope I can come up with an acceptable topic. Excuse me. I found an answer to that question you asked a couple of weeks back. Where Lily's non-Japanese half comes from, that is. Good man. It's Russia, right? Totally Russia. Scotland. He's visibly stopped in his tracks. Scotland? Yeah, that was my reaction too. She can speak English fluently and everything. Damn it, do you realize what this means? How terrifying this news is to me? I think he's hyperventilating. Passing out for a little while would probably make him more relaxed than he normally is. No, I'm not going to humour him. I'm just going to ignore him. I dig into my food, hoping he'll take the hint from my silence. I just lost 1,000 yen, man! 1,000 yen! Damn, this is the worst day ever! No such luck. You're kidding me. You made a bet about her nationality? One of the dudes in my class was bugging me about it. I gave him some of my wisdom, and he had the audacity to say my logic was wrong. So, what did he think? Germany or something. It doesn't matter. What matters is my 1,000 yen. Damn, this day is ruined thanks to her. What a bitch! He looks utterly devastated as he wolfs down several clumps of his soggy soy-soaked rice. Wow! Soggy soy-soaked rice! Say that 3 times fast. Soggy soy-soaked rice. Soggy soy-soaked... No, I can't. It only takes a few handfuls before he pokes his chopsticks at me, stabbing the air repeatedly in revelation. Why? Would? Didn't your mother ever tell you not to speak with your mouth full? He gives me a dirty look before choking down the rest of the food left in his mouth and taking a gulp of juice. It's rather unsightly. Remembering my own food sitting in front of me, I decided to get the task of eating the cafeteria over and done with as soon as possible. The sooner I do so, the sooner the experience will be over. So, as I was saying, why would anyone want to live in that place anyway? I mean, what is there to see? Grassy plains, that's it. Lots and lots of grassy plains. And there's mountains up there and lakes. And men in kilts. What's wrong with that, man? I'm not sure which is worse, his food or his worldview. I can feel my face being dragged down by their combined weight. Not that he'd noticed or care. It's not that bad. Why do you care about her so much? She's just your class Whoa! She's just your class representative, after all. He gives a malevolent chuckle. Were this anyone but Kenshi, I'd feel uneasy at how he sounds. I finally found the chink in this feminist legion's armor. It took a while, but I'm confident this is going to be how we can bring the whole system down. I'm about to blow your mind. Are you ready? I tune out his rambling for a moment as I finish my rice and start on the unappetizing soup. One taste is enough to confirm that is cold. Ready as I'll ever be. I confirm that Lily is in the mafia. What? Alright, stay with me for a second here and I'll describe the scene. I wish I could do otherwise. Lily's there, walking down the street after school. You're not stalking her, are you? No, damn man, I do have a sense of self-preservation. But not dignity or morals or social standards. Anyway, as I was saying, this car pulls up next to her, and guess who steps out? A man in a pinstripe suit! Waves her in, then the two just leave, just like that. I tell you, man, she's under protection. Under protection. A man, that's Akira. Oh, I can see where this is going now. It takes effort not to sigh in exasperation. Let me guess, this man was about average height, had a slightly slender build, had blonde hair, looked foreign, and smiled a lot. He looks positively stunned. I take advantage of the moment of quiet to quickly gulp a mouthful of cold soup. It seems you're more observant than I thought. Yes, I have chosen well. He giggles a little and nods to himself so dramatically that it looks comical. I can't tell whether that's intentional or not, and that fact makes me frown. This has important ramifications, you know. If she really is connected to people like them, and we're smart about what we do with this information, we could turn this into our greatest weapon against the student council. Once he starts rambling into conspiracy territory, my juice suddenly becomes of much more importance. Only half listening to his pontifications, my mind adrifts to the matter of Lily and her antipathy for Shizune. The past between them is steadily becoming more coherent, but I'm not even sure if I should be learning of her past this way. Indeed, even if I do work out what went on, it really doesn't seem like my business to go and interfere. Damn, not having Lily around is making my thoughts wander. I'm noticeably more bored and sullen without her company, and the same goes for Hanako. All we do during lunch anymore is eat and play chess. Come to think of it, I need to go check on Hanako after school too, considering her much improved attendance. I'm guessing she's come down with something. Or, because this is a story, and this is how stories work, she's doing really, really well, something really good is happening, and she's probably killed herself or something. Because that's what happens. Oh, Nakai. I stop as I'm about to leave the classroom, turning on the ball of my heel to meet Mutu. He's holding out to me a couple of the worksheets we worked on during the day with his long, lanky arm. Would you mind giving these to Akazawa? I'd normally ask one of the girls to do it, but I assume you'll be checking on her. For a moment I briefly considered the possibility of that being more than an innocent prediction. I quickly disregard the idea, though, as it's hard to think of him acting in such a Machiavellian way. It's not in his nature. Sure, no problem. Walking up the hallway of the girls' dormitory, several ideas of why Hanako's been absent float around my head. The most obvious of them is just a simple cold. That said, she may not even be sick at all. It's been almost a week since Lily left, and despite her at least appearing to be normal, I've suspected she's somewhat more insecure about it than she's letting on. Eventually I come to Hanako's dormitory room. Its simple brown door separating us. Her room's position next to Lily's is extremely convenient. I don't know why it I'm probably a large contributor to their meeting in the first place. Grimacing slightly at the prospect of her being sick, I rap my knuckles on the door. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but I can't hear a thing. I knock on the door again, slightly harder. Still no answer. How strange. A door opens behind me. A freckled and somewhat scrawny underclassman I don't recognize comes out and is briefly taken off guard by my presence. Hi? Ask about Hanako? Keep it to myself. Ask about Hanako, we want to know where she is. Actually, this may be a rather fortuitous meeting. Hey, excuse me, do you know if Hanako's come out of her room today or not? She doesn't seem to be answering. Akizawa's Akizawa. Her not answering the door is totally normal. That tall foreign girl's the only person she'll ever talk to after all. She gives a shrug before walking off down the hallway, having much more important matters to attend to than Hanako or me. Her dismissive attitude annoys me. Hanako must have a reputation as a hermit. A reputation that doesn't seem outright undeserved, at least in the time before we met. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting Hanako to answer as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako, it's me. Muta said to give you some stuff. For a while, the attempt seems just as unsuccessful as the last. Just before I slip the sheets under her door, though, I can hear the handle rattling. Oh, thank God. Goodness of that. As the door opens halfway, I do my best to look Hanako over as quickly as possible. It's a task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown hiding so much of her body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately so. To be honest, I preferred that to her expression right now. Hi, Hanako. Mutu wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets, which she tentatively takes in her hands. The way she moves is weird, devoid of thought, as if she's some kind of mechanical automaton rather than a living being. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could get the nurse. It feels almost pitiful to put on such a routine get-well-soon act. I can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. I'm fine. Okay. An awkward silence follows, eventually ended by her nodding solemnly in farewell and closing the door. The entire experience feels surreal. More than a little put off, I wander back to my room and hope she'll be better by tomorrow, despite not knowing exactly what's wrong with her. So she's having some issues with Lily being gone. Which is weird, because we were, like, pretty much, you know, we've been looking after her as well, so it's weird that she would hide, not contribute. Once again, I find myself in front of Hanako's door after another of her unexplained absences from class. Nothing. Considering this is the second day in a row she's been like this, I'm starting to worry about her. Summoning my willpower, I decide to try one last way to get her to respond. Hanako, if you don't say anything, I'll go get the nurse for you. Go away! What? It's hard to tell whether her tone is one of depression, anger, or both. What in the world can I actually do to help her, if she doesn't even want help? The message is clear enough. I can't just leave her like this, though. Just sitting in her room for days on end. Rubbing my temples in thought, I withdraw to my own room to think about how to proceed. Rationality is what's needed here, as an overreaction may just make matters worse. I dig around drawer after drawer of my desk, looking for where I put that damned piece of paper. Before she left, Lily told me the number to call her on while in Scotland, and I wrote it down. Now that I need it, though, the damn thing is... here. I probably should have entered it directly into my cell phone. Come to think of it, without further ado, I enter the numbers and anxiously press the call button. The fact the phone rings at all shows that I got the prefix for a call to Scotland right, at least. I've never been in an international call before, so that's some comfort. Eventually the phone picks up, a feminine voice I don't recognise on the other end. It's probably Lily's mother. Satu? English. Suddenly find myself unprepared. I realise I can't understand a word she says, either due to my limited vocabulary or her heavy accent. I should have anticipated this, since according to Lily, her mother is a native Scot. I soldier on in the hope that she must know some Japanese, considering it's her daughter's native language. I am half Scottish. Just so you know. It's Hisao Nakai speaking. An enthusiastic sound and realization can be heard as she recognizes the language. My feeling of relief is immense. Hey, it's you. You must be one of Lily's friends from school, correct? Even so, her accent means I have to concentrate to work out what she's saying. Yes, that's right. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Satu. It's so nice of her to find someone so polite. Lily, dear, it's for you. Her mother seems nice, if a little over-enthusiastic given the mundane situation. There's a small silence as Lily takes her time getting to the phone. In the distance, I can just make out her mother scolding her playfully for just getting up. Hello, Lily speaking. You sound awful. She makes a sound somewhere between dying animal and a yawn. The one thing I did remember before calling was the time zone. It'd be pretty late in the morning over there, so she really has no excuse. Not feeling well? Just tired. What time is it there? Late afternoon. School finished for the day not long ago. You're really not a morning person, are you? I don't need you making fun of it as well. It takes me a moment of restraint not to laugh at her pain groan. Poor girl. How are you doing over there then? Bar the mornings? It's been enjoyable. After not meeting them for so long, just having a meal together with my parents is nice. Though the pool and the sheer size of the house might have something to do with that as well. Even if they're not in Japan, from the way it sounds, her family must be pretty wealthy to live so luxuriously. Are things alright with you and Hanako? Damn, I was hoping that wouldn't be brought up quite so quickly. I take a moment to try and sort out exactly how to describe the situation without her causing her undue worry, but she picks up on that without a word being said. Hanako's not well, is she? How did you know? Because today is her birthday. Oh. I'd hoped she might have gotten at least a little better after coming to you, but how is she right now? She missed school yesterday and seemed out of sorts when I checked up on her. Today she missed school again and just told me to go away. I've really got no idea what to make of it. Has this happened in the past? Is it related to her scarring in some way? Unfortunately so. Roughly the same thing happened last year when her birthday came up. As far as I can tell, it's because her parents died in the accident that caused her scarring, and Hanako blames herself for their deaths. What she says does seem to make sense. If she's blaming herself on her birthday, she may be ruining that she was ever born. The fact that Lily seems so in the dark about it, though, almost to the extent that I am, is a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. Has she told you any more about the accident? As close as we come, she's barely told me anything about what happened. What I know about it is largely conjecture. She sounds depressed, almost defeated. Considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through, I really can't fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she still seems to consider it a personal failing. Don't blame yourself, Lily, with everything she's gone through. I know. Thank you, Sal. I'm sorry I can't be of more help to you. It's fine. I'll just give it some more thought. Thanks, and have a good time in Scotland. It's nothing. Thank you for taking care of Hanako. Okay, bye. Goodbye. And with that, the line goes silent. What's she about to say? Was she about to say I love you? Or I hate you? I don't know. Amid the seemingly only increased number of questions I can't answer, the most immediate is what Lily was going to say. Oh, Oh no. I'm an idiot. She must have thought I was calling to talk with her. But I only asked for help with Hanako. You didn't? You asked about her too? Even more shameful than that is the thought that such an appraisal would be largely correct. Well, first things first, for now, I need to at least sort out Hanako and make sure that she's actually eating okay. The occasional passing students give badly hidden glances at the plate of food I carry to the female dormitories. It's hardly a meal to be proud of, only being an instant microwave meal from the convenience store, but it should at least fill her up. Eventually, I arrive outside her room after having to ward off a couple of girls who jokingly tried to pilfer the food I'd taken so long to procure. I decide to forego knocking, since it was proven to be an utterly useless measure, and it's somewhat difficult to do with my hands full. Hanako, it's Hisao. I know you're listening. I got some food for you. Silence, as I expected. I'll leave it beside your door. Please eat it at least, okay? There, I've said my piece. Now it's up to her. Putting the plate down, I walk back to my own room to eat my dinner. By the time I return to Hanako's dormitory, a good hour's passed. Thankfully, there isn't anything to be seen beside her door. I walk back, at least somewhat happier that she's eating. If she intends to get through this by herself, then being able to help, even if it's just in such a small way, is at least something. Oh, okay. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. We have to finish the episode because it's time up, folks. I sit reading in the library after school, turning page after page, barely registering the words written on each out of sheer boredom. Right, so our mission is it's mission save Hanako, I guess. Guys, if you have any negative or positive comments to make about this video or any of the videos I make, please let me know so I can improve myself. If you have any recommendations for other visual novels or games that are very similar to this, then please also let me know. Yeah, give this video a like and a share so you'll get more of this stuff, and I will see you for episode 16 tomorrow, where hopefully we can save Hanako. So I have a feeling this is going in a very bad direction. Anyway, hours out, guys. See you.